Today we will discuss the first commandment. This is my commandment series. The first commandment is, you shall have no other God but God. You cannot serve two gods at the same time. During the pagan times, we had many gods we were physically worshipping. But in the modern world, it is not physical gods that we are worshipping, but either ideas or ideologies or culture which we are worshipping. The most common is sex, money, sport, self, ideology, and nature. Let's start with nature. Now we are currently worshipping nature. Like we have in some countries, they have banned the use of fertilizer in the name of climate change, which of course leads to less food being produced. The demand remains the same or is growing as the world population is growing, which is pushing up food prices worldwide. Which means the poor people are now suffering to survive month to month because of climate worship. Another example is wind turbines, which is killing off hundreds of predatory birds, which replicates slowly, and which many believe is leading to dolphins and whales beaching themselves. In the book of Revelation, there's one passage that's where the angel, whose domain is water, says that the judgment of God is just because they have destroyed the world. And in Revelations, it says those who destroy the world must be destroyed. And that is exactly what we are doing with this man-made climate idea. We are literally destroying nature in the name of saving nature. And it has become such a god in people's lives that everything now is revolving around this man-made climate thing. People are now literally worshipping climate. And even if you give them research that shows that this narrative isn't 100% correct, they will deny it. They will pretend that that does not exist. Now let's move on to ideology, the alphabet community. Now, what they are currently doing is they are brainwashing young children into believing that you are not what you are born as. With other words, the physical reality is not actually the real reality. And that they are saving people from committing suicide later in life because the alphabet community has the highest number of suicides. The reason why transgender people commit suicide is because they wake up daily faced with the fact that what they believe in their minds and reality is not exactly the same thing. And you have to struggle with that over and over again. Later on one of my other channels, I will make a video dealing with the gender dysphoria, how I suspect it comes about and how it creates this mindset that clashes with reality. Another one is DEI, where the feminist is basically trying to force people to hire females into higher positions. Well, this is the natural order of things. This is how we are biologically designed. One, older men will biologically in most cases, look for a younger female. It has always been like that. If you look at the current stats out of the US, only 20% of women under the age of 30 will get married, and only 19% of men. It's 19% of men because older men marries younger women. Another thing that is part of nature is your intelligence. Now, I'm not talking about book smarts. I'm talking about intelligence. What I mean by intelligence is, when you look at Sir Isaac Newton, he created a completely new form of math from nothing. Then you look at Albert Einstein. He created the theory of relativity after observing a clock on a wall from a train, a moving train. Then you look at Archimedes. He climbed into a bar full of water and came up with a formula to calculate volume. These are all things you cannot learn from a book. This is intelligence. This is the intelligence I'm referring to, the ability to create something new from nothing. The intelligence in humans comes from the X chromosome, the female chromosome. A male only has one. So in the general population, you will find that the highest amount of people with real intelligence are men. There are women, but it's mostly men. In the middle, it's mostly women because they have two X chromosomes and they balance each other out. And at the bottom, it's mostly men. So men are designed to do the grunt work, and men are designed to be the leaders. And DEI goes against that natural order of things, which will lead eventually to the collapse of society, or society stalling, because the actual people with the ability to take things forward doesn't get jobs because of DEI. Now, for sex, money, sport, and self, answer the following questions and be 100% honest to yourself when you answer these questions. Two of the people you consider to be the most attractive people on earth is live streaming sex tonight. At the same time, a well-respected religious person is sharing an important message. Who will you watch? For the ladies, a wealthy man and a known Christian man ask you on a date. Who will you say yes to? The wealthy man who is well dressed, smells nice, has a nice car, and can buy you whatever your heart desires? Or the Christian? You're offered $1 million or an invite to a well-respected Christian prophet. Which will you take? God or the money? Which will you attend? Your all-time favorite sports team is playing a once-in-a-lifetime final, or your baptism. Ladies, what is more important? Dressing sexy and wearing makeup, or your man? Men, what is more important? Going straight home after work or relaxing with your friends? If you cannot even deny others or place your partner first, how can I believe that you will place God first, whom you can't even see. If you cannot place the person you say you love, or is married to, or is dating, before other people, how can I believe that you can put God before other people? When you put your self-interest always first, how can I believe that you love anything else but yourself? That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening.